Yo, what's up everybody? I'm Selma Kim, America's face of dating, and today we're going to be talking about a really great topic that one of my viewers on Instagram brought to me, and I can't believe I've actually never talked about this before. I've talked about things that are kind of similar to this topic, but just I haven't really talked about this one before. I'm kind of surprised about that until he brought it to my attention. And the question that he brought in, he was just I don't have the email pulled up, but basically just said, what do you do if a girl kind of says that you're just don't really match her energy? And it's a really great question because a lot of guys get that. And I'm gonna give you guys the response first of why my response is so great that I came up with, and what I've said in the past that has gotten me great results when a girl would say this, but also the explanation of why this works, right? And so there's a really big explanation of kind of where I'm going to go with this. I'm going to drop kind of just mapped around in my brain here that I'm going to kind of just spew out to you guys. But the guys that are really dedicated to learning game and really understanding this stuff and really perfecting your dating life and your relationships, you will listen to that explanation, because it's okay if you hear the response right and you're like, oh, that's pretty fucking good, man, I'll use that. But it's another thing where you actually listen to the explanation so you can actually repeat this and make up your own great responses and lines to this stuff, because girls will naturally test you. But when a girl says, you're not, we don't, we don't really match energy, or you don't really match my energy, you're not really matching my energy, what you want to say back is, oh really, so handsome, wealthy, and charming doesn't match your energy? I think we need to up your standards a little bit, babe. And so what's happening here is that a girl will say this for two reasons, really. And the first one is that, pretty basic, is that she's just not interested in you, right? You've been trying and you've been really trying to make it work, and she's just not interested in you. And so she's like, yeah, we don't really match energy. And she's doing it kind of like in a polite way of rejecting you. And what that tells me is that whenever you get that, and it's like, if you say that response and she's still just like, okay, or like she's still just like indifferent to it and doesn't really react when you say something like that, it means that she's indifferent towards you, which means that she's not attracted to you. And that could also go in this rabbit hole, meaning two things, where it means either A, you just didn't do a great job of raising her attraction, right? Building her attraction up and really teasing her and flirting with her. Or B, she just wasn't interested from the start, which you're going to get about, I'd probably say probably like 50 to 60%, over half the girls you talk to, they're just not going to be into you for whatever reason. And that's totally fucking fine. Okay, a lot of guys come to me and they're just like, I want every single girl. I want to be able to get every single girl I want. And that's not true. You're saying a statement that's false right there. You're saying a statement that you're like, why do you want, you're saying you want every single girl. Really? So if I picked out this ugly fat girl, you're still going to want her? And that's just one out of plenty we could pick out, right? But you're like, hell no, I don't want that chick. Or at least, I fucking hope not for your standards. But it's like, I talk about this in my book, Waking the Core of Man, is that, and you guys should fucking read this book, by the way, if you haven't yet. I really don't know. You better be new to the channel if you haven't read the book yet. Okay, there's no excuse for you guys that have been watching me to not read the book. But I talk about it in my book, I'm like, one of men's biggest problems with dating is that they simply just chase that which just isn't attracted to them, or just really isn't into them. And they keep chasing that, and that's a reflection of your confidence at the end of the day. When I was growing up, my parents went through a pretty bad divorce, and when they were going through the divorce, I had a lot of neighbors that were also in my grade that went to the same school as me, and the cops were coming to my house because it was a pretty bad divorce. It was a pretty messy divorce, and so the cops kept coming to our house, right? And I realized that my brother and I were just getting kind of outcasted in school, and the kids were just like, hey, yeah, like we can't, we're just not really going to invite you to our birthday parties anymore. We're not going to invite you to talk to us anymore. And like in school, like this rumor kind of spread fast that we kind of had like this messed up family. And the parents were like, yeah, like stay away from those kids because their family's weird. I don't want you guys getting involved in that, which I understood. But it also put me and my brother in like a really, really just isolated place, right? And where I'm going with this is that it caused me to really pursue and chase women, just really chase a connection, I guess, just in general. And it made me just really want just some sort of like, I guess, companionship in my life. And it caused me to kind of just like do things that wasn't really me, or just over pursue, and especially chase girls that clearly just weren't interested, because my confidence was so low, because I was pretty lonely growing up. My confidence was so low, I just kept chasing that girl, trying to make her mine, right? Because I was like, I didn't know any better. I'm just like, please, can I have another one? She's ignoring me, right? It just didn't make any sense. And so a lot of guys I found out are the same, especially that watch my channel. They're kind of the same, and they have that same like isolated upbringing, and they chase that, which just really just isn't into them. And you got to stop chasing that and focus on the girls that are actually testing you, which is obviously the latter. And this is the best part. If you've done a great job at building her attraction up and really teasing her and misdirecting her and push pulling and all the stuff that I talk about in my book and in my programs and of course the rest of the channel here, like, she's going to become attracted to you. It's just inevitable. And if you've done a great job of really building her attraction, then she might hit you with that test where she's like, yeah, like, we just don't really match energy, I guess. Right? And that's her polite way of either trying to A, reject you or just B, test you. And when you say, oh, really, so handsome, wealthy, and charming, just, it doesn't really match your energy, like, what kind of low standard men do you go after, babe? And if that gets her to react, then she's actually interested in you, because it's a huge pattern interrupt. And I'll tell you why this is a really good line as well, is because she's basically saying, hey, like, you're here, I'm here, we don't really match energies. And, she's kind of like trying to put herself above you by testing you, right? She's like, how do you react when I put myself above you? And when you react and when you freak out and you're just like, why? Like, why don't we, like, what have I said that's made you not mad? No, you've already failed the test, dude. She will never go out with you, okay? But when you're like, handsome, wealthy, and charming isn't your type, baby, I think we got to work on your standards a little bit. You're coming from a place where you're just like, you're coming from a mental place of just saying like, yeah, I'm going to get you into bed. It's inevitable, baby. So you might as well just, you might as well just stop the games and just, might as well just start it now. And you always have this playful smirk, right? This playful tonality that you're just like, I'm not going to get mad at whatever you say. Like, whatever you say is whatever, baby. Eventually you're going to fall for me and everything's going to change. I'm just going to wait for that, right? And just keep being playful and charming towards her. But you're basically saying like, if you don't like me, then you clearly don't like a man that's charming and wealthy and just a really overall great quality dude. And when you're telling her that, she either has to basically be like, yeah, I guess I just don't like that. I guess I just want a guy that, has a small dick and is broke and sucks with girls, and, my family's going to be like, he's a nice guy, but, like, I think we could, you could do better. That's basically what you're telling her that she keeps going after. And I'm just like, hey, if you want to go after that, baby, be my guest. Not every girl can have a man like me, right? Not every girl can. Every girl can try, but not every girl can. So when you're boxing her into this point where it's like she has to basically be like, yeah, you know what? Like, I do like charming, wealthy, and attractive men, and you are that, which means that, I do like you. And she might test you again and be like, well, you're not that. Well, you're not that. I'm just like, baby, are you a gold digger? Is that what you're after? Is just my money? Oh my gosh, like, I think we gotta stop talking. Now suddenly she's chasing again. She's like, no, I'm not after your money. Now suddenly she's chasing. And so my main point of this is that I want you guys to just continue being playful and charming. It's like, no matter what she says, it's a test, right? So just see if you react and see if you freak out. And if you need help with being able to pass these tests and create these witty comebacks, just, I guess, on your own, and just grow to that, then there's a spot open in my program. Book a call. There's a call link in the description below. Book a call with me, and we'll talk about my program, see if you're a great fit for it, and just get you on board and get you rolling. But if you're not ready for that, maybe check out my book like I showed you guys. Maybe keep checking out my channel and just keep understanding this stuff and learning this stuff, and DM me on Instagram and let me know how you're doing, and let me know if I can help with anything. But on that note, I'm Selma Kim, America's face of dating, and I will see you in the next video.